Hi, I'm Allan Pease, and I have a question that's just come in as we're recording this from one of our readers. And this reader says, now that handshaking is no longer on the table and elbow touching is going to be out, foot touching looks a bit silly because she's a woman and she was greeting a concreter and didn't want to do a foot touch with a concreter because that would be a bit bizarre. What should I do to make somebody feel relaxed, make myself feel relaxed, and how can I then read how I'm going with that person? Well, handshakes are going to be off the table. Handshakes started around 2,000 years ago. In the Roman era, we talked about this before, where two soldiers would meet, they'd have their arms in arm wrestling position. The guy with the strongest hand had his hand on top, called the upper hand, which became the origins of modern handshaking. After this epidemic, will handshaking change and greeting? It probably will, I suspect, be modified. We'll talk about this in another video. So when you meet someone for the first time, we don't want a handshake. We don't want to do an elbow touch either because the possibilities of germ. The foot tapping looks a bit silly. When you meet somebody for the first time, when you say hello and say what your name is, you do three things. First, smile, show your teeth. We talked about this before. Primates show their teeth, it's a submission signal. Non-primates show their teeth, you're in trouble, it's a warning signal. So this is a submission signal, they've got to see your teeth. Why is that submission? Because you've got herbivore teeth, not aggressive teeth. Secondly, your eyebrow flash. Monkeys and chimps do this as well. This appeals to the ancient brain of the other person, and it says to them, I recognise you, I acknowledge that you're here. So when you say, hi, how are you? I'm overacting it to make the point. If you did it like that, they probably think you're a bit of a loony. But just, hello, how are you? You might do this already. And suddenly they feel there's something about you they kind of like. They can't quite pinpoint it, but suddenly they feel relaxed. They feel non-intimidated because you recognise them, and you're showing with your teeth that you're not aggressive. Now, when you meet them, the third thing to do is this. It's a slight head nod. Now, in humans throughout history, we will lower our body to show that we're submissive to a person that we want to put into a non-submissive role. So, nice to meet you. And you've probably seen old people, hello, nice to meet you. Back in the old days when men and women wore hats, men would meet you and they say, they take the hat off to make themselves appear smaller than you, then nod their head. Now that then became just a tip, nice to see you. You see this with the older generation, baby boomers. But when you meet someone for the first time, very nice to meet you. Just nod your head. Because if I don't nod my head, watch this. So you and I met for the first time. Very nice to meet you. And when I rise up on the soles of my feet, you get a feeling this guy is maybe a bit of a smart aleck, or maybe he wants to dominate me. So you don't have to shake hands, you don't have to elbow touch or any of those other normal things. If you use your teeth, eyebrow flash, and nod your head. Keep your eyes up, not like Japanese nodding or bowing, but keep your eyes up. Nice to meet you. Now what you're saying is symbolically, I'm lowering myself in a position to you, therefore I am non-threatening. And that's why those three things work so well.